verse makes earthquakes and aftershocks, scaring off massive flocks of birds on rooftops, shattering glass in your Apple Watch. Appernauts rocking like Axl Rose and Asher Watch. Astronauts blasting off, laughing while rappers watch.
Ooh, all right, this sounds better. All right, light up the blunt, hop in the car, turn up the bass and the treble and the mid, because we want it loud. This is Hip Hop Test Drive. And today we are doing Apathy's recent album, The Widow's... Is it The? It's The Widow's Son, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What'd you think?
I don't know. It seems to fit that relatively successful underground formula. The guy... I mean... Apathy is definitely more abstract than hardcore.
Yeah, although, if you'll allow me to get into this now, I think he sort of immaturely folds in hardcore elements that seem unnecessary.
Okay, go into that.
So I was kind of going through... I noticed this in almost every song. Where he puts in like this... I don't know anything about his personal background at all. But I feel like there's another level he could be taking, and he's holding himself back by... talking about like slapping people and rappers dying around here because it's so fucking hard, and it just seems like there's like a hardcore element that's just not necessary. That might just be the way he raps. I mean, it just might be so ingrained into what he does that I don't know, but
well, that's interesting, because his last album, I don't think, had that. Did you have a chance to listen to Perestroika at all while we were researching this?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I would say that he doesn't have that on that album, which I liked a lot better.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe it's not just apart from. So he's going for something here. And sort of tied in with that, he has this like. Penchant for like rapping about, I don't know, it felt really like 15 years ago, something I would like at like 20, in terms of like the content, like tough bravado talk, and then like sort of like bringing up like the Illuminati and shit, which granted, he has a song where he essentially says all of this is like, it's really religious and conspiratorial, but then at the end, like, the last couple lines are like, this is all just a man-made creation, and it's all in your head. So, like, he redeemed it, but I'm listening to the song, I'm like, this sounds really good. It's like one of my favorite songs. Like, what the fuck? I literally wrote down here, what the fuck is he talking about? And then I got to the end of the song, I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's a point. Okay.
Wait, was that The Order?
No, it's Hypnosis.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But he brings up a couple of the same things in multiple songs. Yeah. And so, like, I think his style is actually a style I really like. It's not the most original, but I like that style. The production is great.
Mm-hmm.
It is every beat. Might be my favorite just musical album that we've done on Hip Hop Test Drive.
Yeah, the production is on point for this one.
And the samples, like, in the choruses are really cool. And then I think sometimes he, like, ruins it a little bit by, like, have some, like, the first song, like, it samples I Put a Spell on You, which I think is by, like, Howlin' Wolf, but I'm not positive. Anyway, but then he sort of, like, do that, and then he, like, says some dark, tough shit, and, like, just let the samples, like, breathe and stick out. Like, I don't know, it's just... That being said, though, again, I want to reiterate, like, he's clearly talented. He's, I wrote down evocative. Like, he paints pictures really well. Mm-hmm. He's a good rhymer, though I think he could be better. Like, I don't mean like one could be better. I mean he could be better.
Yeah, like he could do some better rap.
I think sometimes he just like rests on laurels, like maybe rhymes he's been like at one point he's doing like an daughter water rap in one of the first couple songs, and it's just like, okay, yeah, you can rhyme the same thing for like a verse here, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like you're something
like you're just trying to rhyme or just come up with rhymes and then put content in it sideways.
Yeah, it's and I think I got the impression he's more talented than the verses spoke to, because at times it really shines really, really well. Like it's and I mean this top notch, but I think at other times it just felt like it was being brought down. But that was my 2 cents.
Okay. I will say his style is relatively consistent throughout the album.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't do anything experimental like Cupcake does.
Correct, yeah.
What's your favorite track? I liked the Pheromonch track. That was pretty hot. I Keep On.
I think that would have been one of my top couple ones. I actually really liked Alien Technology, even though... I have also written my notes. Did he say he was similar to Biggie? Like, I think he said similar to Biggie in there or something like that.
I'll have to re-listen to that. I don't know. That's a bold statement.
He's like, from the era of Biggie, and I'm similar or something like that. I don't know. I Keep On. And, like, Hypnosis, too, even though that's the one I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? It got to the end, I'm like, okay, I guess I get it. And he really lays it on thick in that song, but the production, the sample, and the chorus, it's all super. I love it. So, yeah, I'd probably take one of those songs.
I wonder if Pete Rock did all of the production value. Maybe not. I know he did one with Pheromonch, but as you say, we keep talking about this production value because it's really hot.
It's super good. Super. I also, I loved the guest verse on the 3rd track, Never Fall Off. Because it's like the guy's like cadence and style is so much different. AG, I'm not familiar with the rapper, but the guest verse is by someone named AG, and I assume it's Attorney General. It stands for. I don't know.
Agnostic Gangster.
Atheist Gangster, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I just really like that verse. That probably was my favorite of the guest verses.
I don't know if you can be an atheist gangster. Probably the similar note. There are no atheists in a foxhole.
Yeah, you got to believe in something.
Think about that one. I think
every man has to have a code. All right. Anything more you want to say about it?
I will say it's a really good abstract. I would give it a pretty high rating there, but like minimal and commercial and hardcore, and as you pointed out, this is one of those, I guess we haven't had this before quite to this extent, where it's not clear if the hardcore element is, an attempt at commercialism and vice versa.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with that. And it's not like, I mean, he doesn't have like songs about, like a whole song about fucking gang banging or something like that. No. But it's just, there'll just be like little rhymes that it just reminds me of like the first time I ever wrote verses. I'm not saying that's anywhere near the quality of this, but just where like until you do it for a while, the word choices you use and the rhymes you lean back on are ones you've heard. And it takes a while to like break out and do something that's more uniquely you. And so it's just hard to kind of get around that language that you've heard so much, which in the case of like the first time I ever wrote a rap verse is coming on the heels of 10 years of gangster rap. And so, not saying I wrote gangster rap verses, but it's hard to like have a verbiage that was different.
Right, my first couplet in End of Days is about a brand new Tahoe.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy's been around for a while. he's clearly written a lot. You said his last album wasn't really like this, so I'm a little perplexed as to why. I just kept on picking up little bits here and there that were like at some point he says "sucker motherfucker." It's like, yeah, I guess, dude, but I mean,
That's like the weakest of weakest rhymes you would ever use.
yeah, it's like, man, like put in just a little more, like, and it fit with this bit. Again, though, it was because he was doing like a whole like multi-bar thing with all the same end and internal rhymes, and that sounds cool. But then all I remember from it was "sucker motherfucker," which it's like that's kind of tired, man. And so I think it takes away from the skill, which he has enough skill. He doesn't need to push the skill so much that he starts relying on tropes.
Oh, and another brief aside before we close this out. I'm not saying this is a trope, but it seems to be part of the success of the formula, the suicide track, which really helps the listener relate to the artist. But yeah, it seems to be included in almost everybody's albums that we've covered positively.
Yeah, someone needs to specialize in like hip hop mental health, for sure. Like that's a thing that these people are like crying for help.
That's why people MC.
Yeah, it's their
Outlet
placement.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I mean, yeah, I'd recommend listening to it. If for no other reason than just hot party jams.
Yeah, Apathy's a great rapper.
Yeah, and his voice is like too like I didn't pick up on a lot of these things until like the third listen, because I find his voice to be, he reminds me, it's different, but a little bit of Slug, where it just sounds good to me. Like it's like a good tenor and just like nice full voice. I don't know if it's manipulated post-production, but it's just a good fucking voice. It just sounds really good with big bass and snare and all that. So
some people have a voice for rap.